Okay. You were cooking something? You were cooking something? Then why did you need to open the microwave?
What was the zero?
Okay. All right, here we go. Read that to me. That says negative 2 is less than 2. Yes?
Yes.
Now, put that on the graph. Where is 2?
2.
Right there. Where is negative 2? Right there. How does this line prove that this is true? What does this line do in the way we write numbers? Because you're right, Hayden, you just got to think a little more about your answer. What do we do with this line that proves in the way we write numbers that this is true?
Because the negative.
Right. Negative 2 is left of 2. So that is the proof of this statement. Everybody cool? Okay. Now, just like we did yesterday, we're going to prove some stuff with the line. The first thing we're going to do is we're going to multiply or divide by the same positive number. Okay? So, I'm going to multiply both of these guys by positive 2. What is my new inequality? Negative 4. And what's on the right? Positive 4. Correct? Now, let's show our proof. Where is positive 4?
On the side.
Everyone agree? And I'm using a red dot because I wrote in red for that one. Where's negative 4?
Look on the side to the left.
Right there. Is negative 4 left of positive 4?
Yes.
So it must be less than, correct?
Yes.
What do you notice about the sign? It stayed the same. Everybody cool?
Yeah.
Okay. Now in green it says we're going to divide each by 2. Notice it's positive 2, so now we're dividing by 2. So what's on the left now? Negative 1. What's on the right? 1. Come to our number line. 1, negative 1. This is our proof. Is negative 1 left of 1?
Yes.
So it is still less than. What do you notice about the signs? It stayed the same. So what is our rule if we multiply or divide by a positive?
Stays the same.
Write it out. You write out your words that will help you remember it, just like we did yesterday. Many of you won't bother writing anything down until I write. You will copy what I write, which is useless, but some of you won't even do that. But whatever, that's on you, not me. So for me, I know what that means. If I divide or multiply an inequality by a positive number, the inequality stays true. What does that mean in regular words? The sign doesn't change, which is probably something like what most of you wrote. You multiply or divide by a positive, the sign doesn't change. Right? Okay. Now we're going to do the same thing, but we're going to use negative numbers. Alright? So, we'll do the first one in red. -2, -2. Correct? Yeah. Now I'm going to remind you, everybody draw up here what we had in the first place. We had 2 and -2. Correct?
Yes.
And this was true because -2 was left of +2. Yeah?
Yeah.
Alright, so now let's do this multiplying. -2 times -2 becomes what? +4. What's 2 times -2? -4. What does that do to the sign? It has to switch. And our proof is here. Our black dot -2 shifted to +4, didn't it? And our black dot +2 shifted to -4, which means the sign flipped. Everybody got it? Now you're smart kids. What's going to happen here?
It's going to make 4 and 4. Right?
+1, -1, and the sign's got to flip. Because our proof takes the black dot that was at -2, then we divide by -2, and he goes out to +1. And we had a guy here. We divided by -2, and he goes down to, oops, I didn't want to do it that way. He goes down to -1.
So he was like,
So the sign flips.
so how did this go and
Yes, James, that's exactly what it means. Write it out how you'll remember it. I highlight reverses. You guys will probably say sign changes. Okay? Because one way is the lazy way that teenagers write, and the other way is something that will actually help you.
Yeah, I'm pretty lazy.
I know. Okay, so everybody cool? Have we proven it?
Yes.
So now I do not want to speak of it again, but we know what will happen. So let's watch. Do you know how to solve this?
Yes.
If this was 4x equals 12, what would you do? Divide by 4. But it is not equals. It is 4x is less than 12, right? Oh, sorry, -12. Okay? Now, how are you going to solve it? I'm going to divide by what? 4. Is 4 positive?
Yeah.
So what happens to our sign? Stays the same. When it's positive, it stays the same. So x is less than negative 3.
Ta-da!
Got it?
Yes.
And then we graph it, but I didn't leave enough room to graph there, so we'll graph the other ones. Everybody cool?
Yes.
Okay, let's go to this one. What am I going to do to solve that? Divide by what? Negative 2. When I divide by a negative, what happens to my sign? The sign changes. What is negative 2 divided by negative 2?
Positive.
Positive 1. What happens to the sign?
Switching.
Switches because I divided by a negative.
Yeah.
And 8 divided by negative 2 is? Negative 4. And then we graph it. What's the only number that matters? Negative 4. What do I put at negative 4?
Put a circle. That's colored.
Colored circle because it's equals and it's a letter first. So where does the arrow go? Left. Because the letter's first, so we follow the sign. Cool?
The letters first follow the sign.
Now let's do this one. What am I going to do to this? I've got to multiply by what?
2.
Is 2 positive?
Yeah.
So is the sign changing?
Yeah. No.
No. So it's b less than or equal to what? 6. Draw it. What's the only number that matters?
6.
6.
And it's going that way.
Color
Color.
left because the letter's first. D. What do I do? Multiply by negative 3. I'm working with a negative, so it does what to the sign? Changes. Negative 12, circle, no color, that way. Pretty simple, right?
Yes.
Does adding and subtracting change the sign ever?
No.
No. Does multiplying and dividing by a negative change the sign?
Yes.
Does multiplying and dividing by a positive change the sign?
No.
No. So, please read this question carefully. The answer is not what you would do. It is a yes or a no. What are you going to write here? Yes or no? Don't say it out loud, Omar. Write 3 words, yes or no, on each line. Ready? Go.
No.
You know what's even funnier is you're wrong.
Okay. Sorry.
So I like it that you're trying to piss me off and you're getting it wrong. I don't really like it because that means, of course, I taught you poorly, which is garbage. I taught you fine. You're not listening. So Omar, since I have videos and since I got a hallway, I got no problem moving you out there for 80 minutes a day. Got it? Yes or no? Does the sign change? Yes, because you would have to divide by negative 2. Yes or no? No, because you would divide by positive 2. Yes or no? Yes, because you would multiply by negative 2. Got it? Great. Now, do that work that I just said not to do. Go. Hint, hint. I just showed you how to do it. No. Yes. So what do I divide by? Negative 2. So m is what?
Equals 6.
No. Greater than negative 4. Because the sign flips and 8 divided by negative 2 is 4. What's the only number that matters? Negative 4. Who decides where negative 4 is? You do. Negative 4, circle. Do I color it? Does it follow the sign? Yes, because the letter's first. What do I do here? Divide by positive 2. M, does the sign change? No. So I go to 4, and I color it, and I follow the sign. What about this one? Negative 2, negative 2. Does the sign change? Yes. Negative 6, negative 6, circle, line. Everybody good? Okay. Now, please notice in example 2, I have adding and subtracting and division. So I'm going to have to use everything I know now, aren't I? Okay? So how do you think we should approach this? What is our job always? Isolate the variable. So this 1 can't be over here, can it?
No.
So what do I do to get rid of it? Negative 1. Negative 1. Is adding or subtracting ever change the sign? No. So we're going to have now negative 2 over 3x is greater than 2. Now what's ugly? I got to divide by positive 3, don't I? So how do I get rid of divided by positive 3? I multiply by 3. It's positive. Does the sign change?
No.
No. Cancel, cancel.
6.
Negative 2x is greater than 6. I forgot to write the 3 there. Are we still okay? Now what?
Divide by 2. Negative 2 first.
Uh-oh. I'm dividing by a negative. So that is when I flip the sign.
Uh-oh. It's all flipped up, man.
And then I graph it. What's the only number that matters? Negative 3, circle, color? Nope. Arrow follow the sign? Yep, because letters first. Can everybody do this?
Yeah.
Might I offer you a suggestion? Something that kids sometimes like to do is to take this question, 1 minus 2/3 x, and make it equals 3, so they don't have to care about the sign till the end. Okay? They do all the work, minus 1, minus 1. So negative 2 over 3x equals 2. Multiply both sides by 3. Negative 2x equals 6. Divide by negative 2. X equals negative 3, right? Then they look in their work and see if they ever multiplied by a negative, which they didn't, or divided by a negative, which they did. Soon as they see that they divided by a negative, they know to switch. So I started out with a greater than, so I end up with a less than. Okay? That is perfectly legitimate. If you wish to do it that way, go ahead. Make it an equality, do all the work, and then check at the end if you did anything that changes it. And what is the only thing that changes it? Multiplying or dividing by a negative number. Okay? So you guys should all be able to do this by yourself. I will give you one reminder. Where does that, there are 3 places that negative sign can live.
Top,
Top, bottom, or middle?
middle is both, isn't it?
No. Because if it's both, then it's positive. It's a negative over a negative. I always move the negative to the top. Always. So when I do this question, negative 2f over 5 is less than 4. And then I start solving. So all of you should be able to do that. I'm going to sit here quietly and wait until somebody says, I've got it, Mr. Myers. I'm coming up there, I'm taking that pen, and I'm going to do that question. I'm going to kick its ass. My pen is down. I am away from the computer. I will wait and see. I'm not even going to look at you guys so you're not stressed out. Because it'll be like the good old days. When you finish, of course, you were doing page 307, I believe it is. Whatever is next on your outline. Don't all rush up at once. Yay! I only wish I had the fart right now. Carry on. I believe I just recorded that as well.
Oh, shit.
That's pretty funny. Oh, see, she's laughing.
No, I'm laughing because it wasn't directly linked to
Ask
it.
anybody, farts are funny. Okay, go. Do math.
Okay, do math. I do math. Oh, it's hot.
Farts are funny.
It is hot. I know, right?
What
Now
do I
what?
do with that?
Oh, she's brilliant.
Okay, I just lost my train of thought for a second. Okay. This is...
Right. She's perfectly correct, which is why she's getting 98 in my class. The sign switches because she divided by a negative. Right? Now, she would graph it. Negative 10, she'd follow the sign because the letter's first. Now, could she have done it this way? Could we have put the negative at the bottom? Yep. Then we would multiply both by negative 5. There's our multiply by a negative. And we'd have 2f. We'd switch the sign there to negative 20. Then we would divide by a positive and get the same answer. Righty-ho? Righty-ho.